So today we are trying a completely new setup. Well, completely new from the last one I tried while I was biking. I've got my Akaso Brave 7, I think it is, action cam mounted on the handlebar mount instead of the phone. And I have got my Rode wireless mic too. I do not have the transmitter or the receiver with me. I've just got the transmitter because it does do local storage, and I have it set to record whenever it's on. So, with luck, it is recording everything I say. Now, the OXO has a microphone, and I'm going to use that for audio synchronization in Final Cut, which works really well, I think. Actually, it does work pretty well. I've used it before, but I've never used it in a real-world situation. So that's a start. I'm going to start by recording myself. And hopefully the windsock on this microphone is doing a good job of clearing out the wind speed noise as I whiz by at 26 kilometers an hour on this dirt road, which is, well, it's a canal edge, but it's a dirt road. And leaves, see, it's fall. And then I'm going to switch it to a forward view, which does involve manually repositioning the camera as I'm coming up to a noisy ass motorcycle. Also 15th Avenue. And I'm going to cross. And then when I do cross, which I'm going to do quickly so I can avoid that car. And then I'm going to stop this and I'm going to switch to the other direction. I'm still going to keep talking to you though, because I know that's what you want. Nobody's on the canal path. This is the cement side. So I'm intentionally speeding the bike up to maximum speed. Now, that's just because I could give it more electrical assist. I think I'll do that. I want to bring the bike up to full speed, because I want to hear what the wind noise is like on this microphone. So we're up to I'm having to push to get this 39 kilometers an hour. Okay, got my workout. And coming up on a human. Okay. Yeah, time to go home. I'm tired. I think I'm gonna let the camera run, and I'm gonna let the microphone run the whole way. But I'm not gonna have a whole hell of a lot to say. Freaking stupid pigeon. So, this canal is an irrigation canal. That's a bridge. I'll come back to that bridge in a minute. Irrigation canal. Phoenix used to have a lot more crops, and so there's a lot of irrigation through here. And people use it for watering their lawns and other things, if you just happen to live in the right spot. I'm 1 block away from being able to get irrigation. But if I had irrigation, then I'd feel obligated to have a lawn, and fuck lawns. They should be outlawed in the desert. But they've made many, many miles of these canals into bike and pedestrian paths, which is fantastic, although they usually only do one side or the other. And then they have periodic crossings, either at the main streets like this one, which is central in Phoenix. Then you should be able to see the the light rail tracks. And way down there, light rail station. Actually, there's a train coming, but I think we'll cross long before he gets here. Maybe. I mean, I could cross now, for Christ's sakes. There's nobody coming. It's just stupid to wait for the light. Oh, you might want to know where I'm going. Going to the Chicago Hamburger Company, which is the best place in town to get hot dogs. Yeah, that may seem like an oxymoron, but Chicago is not known for their hamburgers. They're known for their freaking hot dogs. Now here's one. To get to that stupid light, if you're on a bike or the button, you kind of have to cross the dirt. I think they could smarten up just a little bit. Sakes, are none of these lights gonna change for me today? So we're going to the Chicago Hamburger Company for hot dogs. And I can ride the canal a fair distance. I'm going to see they have a couple weird bits on this particular canal. This is the Grand Canal. And that bike is not looking. I could have rung my bell, but I was as startled as he was about how stupid he was. Couple weird things about this canal. So it's running more or less, it comes and goes, but it's kind of more or less a 45-degree angle across this part of town, which means that with the streets being on a vertical horizontal grid, the canal crosses all the streets at an angle. On this canal, they've opted to put either hawks, which I don't know what that means for it, but what this is coming up here now is a hawk. It's not really a red light, it's a flashy light to tell people to speed up and kill the pedestrians. You push the button, it flashes, but they put them on shitty little streets like this one that never have any traffic, so you don't need them. They're useless. But it's the thought that counts. And then a lot of other streets, they have actual lights, like the two that I showed you earlier that didn't do anything at all. Sometimes they were great. Sometimes you go 2-3 minutes and it's just pointless. And once in a blue moon, you get a little tiny street like this with nothing on it. And you almost never even have to slow down. But there was a truck over there going the other way, though. Anyway, the canals are nice. They've got fish in them. People come in here and with an urban fishing license and fish. And more likely than just seeing a fisherman, though, you'll see an encampment of homeless people. Or should I say the unhoused. But every once in a while, the crossings occur. Comes another bike. Is he going this way? Yes, and he's not looking this way. Dude, you can see for like 100 miles down this way. You know there was nobody coming. You should try looking both ways. Man. So they cross the streets usually in mid spots, but now we're coming up on Indian School and about 16th Street. And this one is all screwed up because it's really close to the intersection. And you can see the traffic backing up there already. So they didn't put a crossing here. And they even tell pedestrians not to cross here. The canal does continue, but they haven't even paved it over there. And it's only a very short distance, and then it has to cross 16th again. So they route everyone this way. At the right time of day, you can, if you're on a bike, you can make it. No. So what you end up doing is making this little detour down the sidewalk, which I believe technically is illegal in Phoenix, but they never stop anybody because of it. And then we do a double signal cross. Hopefully not get hit by that guy. So that place over there, Luke's, is a passable Chicago hot dog, but I don't know. They've been there forever. So is the Chicago Hamburger Company. But I don't know. I always feel like they don't like customers. Just something off-putting about them every time I go in. So I don't. The best hot dog place in town was Johnny's Red Hots, which they retired. Oh, they were in business for 20 or 30 years. I used to go there sometimes 3 days a week, lunch at work. And by the way, and this is where we pick up the canal again. They always knew my order. Nice people. And then they retired, I think in 2011 maybe. And I went there from 1983 or 4 till they went out of business. All right, so now that we're past the Indian School 16th fiasco, our next big obstacle, and it's not really an obstacle, is the the US 50 highway, which at least on this canal, or this part of the canal, they've put an underpass. Now there's another freeway, the I-17, that's back the other way. It's closer to my house. It goes across to the west side of town, and they've got nothing there, so you can't get across on the canal. You have to go down across on one of the major roads, which is no fun, and then back up to the canal, which they are renovating the canal. I'll give them that. They're working on it. It used to be, well, this one used to be terrible too, but not so many years ago, 2 or 3 years ago, that one had nothing but the worst of dirt roads. And they're fixing that, and that one goes a long way too. The canal, you can go a long way, but that freeway is a pain in the butt. So we're at Osborne now. And now, I've never been to the Chicago Hamburger Company on bike. So we're actually a little further south now. Because of the 45-degree angle of the road, we're traveling closer to it in an easterly direction, but further away from it now in a southerly direction. And the canal will continue to do that. I can't see a damn thing in here. There's debris, sometimes people. And I've got photochromatic lenses, so they they get dark while I'm riding, and then you go in and they don't adjust fast enough. So it's hard to see, even though I got a headlight. All right, so I don't know where I'm going. So I'm gonna go to 20th Street, which is this street right here. And I'm gonna go up to a small street called Clarendon. This even got a bike lane on it. I didn't know that. 20th Street, huh? I shall have to try this someday. I don't think it goes very much further to the south because there's a whole freeway in the mess down there. But maybe I'll find out. Anyway, we're going up past Osborne and we're going to go to Clarendon. And then at Clarendon, we're going to start heading east again. I think we're heading to 20th Street. No, we're on 20th Street. Well, I don't know where we're heading. I do know that Clarendon runs into a dead end when I reach my destination. So then I'll still have to go up to Indian School and I'll have to ride on that for, I don't know, a block on the sidewalk. So I don't know if you saw this bike lane as we went through, but sometimes they put the bike lanes half sharing the right turn bay, the cars. And so the cars have no choice but to queue up behind you, and they don't like that. There's one behind me now, but he's not close, so he's not one of the assholes. Sometimes they pull up behind you and they get as close as they possibly can to get to your rear tire to hint to you that perhaps you should move a little bit out of their way. Mitchell? See, one of the problems with Phoenix ahead of us right now, today is garbage day. And you're supposed to put, at least on the residential streets, you're supposed to put your garbage and recycling out on the street. But if there's a bike lane, you're supposed to put it on the curb. But as you can see, they have not done that. Clarendon. These are the older, a little bit nicer. Feel a little bit better with the car, with the streets going through. The newer the neighborhood, the more likely it is to look like a freaking labyrinth. Daedalus's maze. But these, nice, some big trees occasionally, which I love a big tree if I don't have to maintain it myself. Even though they are a bit water thirsty. All right, now this is 24th Street. This is a big one and we're gonna have to do this right now. I'm gonna tell you, if this microphone recording works, I am gonna be really impressed. Because even just the wind whistling through my ears tells me this is gonna be a bad recording. Deep in my heart. Fun fact. Repeated studies have shown that letting bicycles do rolling stops at stop signs is safer for everyone. And some states, I want to say Idaho, have made that the law of the land. But Arizona, no. So you're supposed to stop as a bicyclist at every stop sign, despite scientific evidence that it is safer that you do not. Says, I'm just going to slow up here a little because there's a black car coming up behind me and I don't want to get to the intersection before him. I want to be behind him because we're turning left here. Although that alleyway looks mighty tempting, but I think I'm just gonna stick with my plan. I don't think there's a road that gets me up to, there is a road that gets you up to the Chicago Burger Company. What the hell road is it? We're gonna find a way on the way back. See, I could get through there. I could get through there. Am I gonna catch up with a vendor truck? I could. I could if I wanted to. I feel like, oh, maybe these are all dead ends down there. Maybe that's why I didn't do it when I was looking at the map. I could call up the map on my... All of those look like they do. Why am I not... Let's cut through here. The less I have to ride on the sidewalk, the better. Nanaya Japanese eatery. It's tucked in here in the back of this center. It's a cool bookstore in here, if I recall correctly. I'm in the back of the parking lot, I think I am. A lot of cool old antiquarian books. Yeah, this is the place. Well, it's the speed bumps. You're loading beer. Ooh, there's a Gap. Woohoo! Tacos 36. Now open, but also available. Oh, you can go through there. Beckett's Table. Now, why did I want to ride my bike here? They don't have a bike rack, but damn, they're always busy. And they don't have much of a parking lot. They don't always have enough parking. You're just gonna tuck in over here. Got a different way home. All right, I checked out my information while I was at the restaurant, and I figured out what I should have done. I should have taken Piccadilly from 36th over. So we're going to take Piccadilly, which is right here. So I'm trying to wear the Rode mic on the inside of my shirt. It's still sticking up above the shirt line, but when you put it on outside on a t-shirt, it tends to just flop forward. So I tried putting it on inside the shirt so that the shirt is pressing against it and it's pressing against my chest, and hopefully keeping it straight up. And it feels like it's straight up right now because I can feel the fuzzy windsock against my neck. That's Clarendon. That wasn't exactly a dead end then, was it? Anyway. But I noticed when I was in the restaurant, when I went to, I don't know what I was doing. I was rearranging it somehow. I noticed that it had managed to turn and was pointing down into my shirt. So I'm not sure how well this system works. What I have done though is I've ordered a magnetic clip adapter that they have for them that holds in place with magnets, and hopefully I can put that down a little further on my shirt. I won't be A, pushing up against my neck, and B, won't be able to tip over forward because of the looseness of the shirt. I'll just then be freakishly paranoid that it's going to fall off. I think I'm just going to ride up this bike lane for a little bit that we have just discovered. Oh, somebody's hammers fell off. That looks like it goes a long way. Do I feel like it, or do I feel like... Nah, this is an exploration for another day. Yeah, this is exploration for another day. Nobody behind us? I'll make that light. It'll be a miracle. Nope, not gonna happen. All I can say is I'm shooting this in 4K, and I know the ride out was 30 minutes on recording time, so I don't see any reason why this one will be any less. That's a lot of 4K footage. These are going to be freaking huge. Well, this is where I'm going to leave you. And will any of this see the light of day? Will any of it be able to be heard in the light of day or in the dark of night or whenever you're watching? I don't know. But that is all she wrote.